In this series, we have taken a look at the while loop and we've taken a look at the for loop, and we only have one loop left to take a look at, which is the fruit loop. I'm kidding, relax. Imagine Fruit Loop, I wouldn't be able to take C++ seriously. We're going to be taking a look at the do while loop. And this is going to guarantee that we will run one pass through our loop. We're going to take a look at all of the code inside of our loop one time before we even take a look at what the condition is. So that means we are guaranteed to have at least one pass, and then we take a look at the condition. If the condition is met, we will keep going through the loop until that condition is no longer met. Seems fair enough? Let's get started. So start off with a variable. We'll say that the variable x is using integer data, and we'll go ahead and assign it a value of 0, so we know exactly how many times we've gone through our loop. Now, like the other loops, you'll just start off by writing the name of the loop. In this case, just write do. And now you're not going to open up and close a bracket. You're not going to do that this time. You're going to open a curly brace and close a curly brace. And inside here is going to be what you write, the content of your loop. Now, this will always be ran at least once, so remember that. So we're going to go ahead and write cout x end line, and this is going to allow us to print x on the screen. And then we're going to write our incrementation x++. We'll include it like that, which will mean that x will increase by 1 every time it passes through the loop. Now down here, outside of your close of the do body, you're going to go ahead and write while. And now you're going to write what condition you want to have. So you can write x is less than 10. And then you're going to end that off with a semicolon. Now right here, we will be able to run this and see exactly what's going to happen. Just take a look at this first, and then we can look at some variations here. So we're going to see that, let's make this a little bit bigger. We'll see that we go ahead and run 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 9, all the way to 9. Now, exactly what happened is we start off by entering the do. We enter here, and it says, okay, print out x. So we know that x is equal to 0 here. We've been assigned the value of 0. Now we're going to increase by 1, and now it's 1. Now you're going to get to the while part, which is where your condition is. So it's going to enter the while with a value of x is equal to 1, because we've already done our incrementation. And now is x less than 10? Is 1 less than 10? It is. And you're going to keep repeating the process until this is no longer true. Now, if we were to go ahead and write that x was actually 50, now we'll see exactly what happens. We're no longer going to run through it because we're going to go all the way through it. We're going to execute this down here, and we're going to find out that, sorry, x is not less than 10 anymore. You can't repeat the loop anymore. However, the do while loop's trick, or its uniqueness, is the fact that it will still run through it once even if the test is not going to be true. Because remember, we read top to bottom. This while condition is coming after this over here. So it needs to go through this first. And we see down here that we still got 50 printed out. So just one thing to consider. One thing also I want to take a look at is, say we were to go ahead and put this back to 0 and we would keep that at 10. If we were to put this like this and increase by 2, I just want to show you guys exactly what that would look like. Nothing different, but we see that if we go ahead and increase by 2, we're now increasing by 2. Just that you put the plus, equal, and then the number. You don't have to do plus, plus, and the number. So if you want to increase by more than 1, you don't normally want to increase by more than 1 because it's just simpler to just go with the plus, plus, and increase by 1 like that. But just one thing to take into consideration, this one will always run one time minimum through the do part, and if you get to the condition and your condition is met, you will keep repeating until it is no longer met. So remember, you need to put your own incrementation like we saw in the while loop. It's not like the for loop where you're including it inside the bracket where you have your initial value, your ending value, and then your incrementation value. You need to include it inside there. So make sure you do that, or else it's going to run forever. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments below, and I'll be back later with another video. Thanks.